Hey Village, Andrew here with some incredibly exciting and important updates regarding our regathering this Sunday right back here at Village Church. Now, you may wonder why it's so exciting. I'm excited because it's right back here at Village Church. I'm at Village right now on stage, right, sending you this message. I am so excited. What you may not realize is it was March the 15th, the last Sunday, we were gathered here at Village. And in the meantime, we've been able to gather over at the Peacock Performing Arts Center, and we are so grateful to them for allowing us to be in that space. And it's been such a blessing for us to be there and have that space. And the reason we had to do that is because our space created some really unique challenges, especially during a pandemic season. And the biggest challenge being the space itself. You know that. But we knew there was a time when we would need to be back here together, and we just would have to figure it out. And we've arrived at that time, and we're going for it. We're figuring out how to do this together. And so what I wanted to do real quick was give you some updates on the processes and what it's going to look like, because some things are different than when we were here the last time. I want to let you know what that looks like as we lean into this opportunity to be back together. And all of what we're doing centers around what we call our DNA here. We have three big pieces of our DNA. It's that we want to be a safe place, we want to be better together, and we want to live love. And so the two big goals that we have surrounding those pieces of DNA are this. One, we want to be together because we really do believe that. We're better together. And I love it when we're able to do that. And so we want to be that. But secondly, we want to create as safe a place as possible for one another, for our guests, for our community as we gather in these places. And so we've always said we want to be a safe place. And this pandemic has added yet another layer to what it means to creating a safe place. And with that being said, we want to go the extra mile for our neighbor, for our other Village people, for our friends and our guests, to make sure we're doing all that we can to create that, to remove that obstacle so people can just come and make next steps in the direction of Jesus. So let me tell you just a couple of things that we're implementing so that you'll know, and we'll be able to do this together. The first one is we are implementing a temperature check, that we want to make sure that everyone that comes in the building has a temperature under 100.2. And we're doing that and following some CDC guidelines and some guidelines we're watching other people do in order to create a safe place. The schools are implementing this. I was actually at a tournament to watch my son play basketball this weekend. And for us to go through the door, we had to get our temperature checked, had to have our mask on. But we all did it because one, we wanted to be there in that place to be part of that with our children. And two, we wanted to make sure that we were caring for the other families, for the athletes, and for one another, and that they were caring for us. So I was happy to do it. Was it inconvenient? Did I love it? Yeah, I didn't love it. And it was a minor inconvenience, but I was happy to do it, to be in that place. And so we are going to implement the temperature check, but where we've done that at the door before, we're going to do it just a little bit different. And I saw this the other night, and I'll just tell you where. I got a craving for Panda Express. I don't know if you have any of those cravings, but I love the Panda. And the only place I can get Panda around here, turns out, is the casino. I don't know if you knew they had a Panda Express there, but they do. And so when I went to the casino, we pulled in, and before they would let us park, they made us drive right up to the front. And while we were in our cars, they took our temperature in our car. Beep, beep. And as long as we were on 100.2, they sent us to park. Then we were allowed to go in and get our Panda, right? Because that's the only reason I was there, of course. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. But what we said is, I wonder if we could help make that convenient and efficient for our people as well. So we're going to implement drive-through temperature check, okay, when you get here. And here's how that's going to work. As you arrive at Village, we're still going to pull into the west end of our parking lot, the Murphy end of our parking lot, if you will, just like we always have. But instead of sending some cars to the back and some to the front, we're sending everyone all the way around the building, even the ones that we're going to send on around to park in the front. And as you come back and get to the back corner of our building, just past the back corner, you're going to be greeted by some of the happiest, most positive and optimistic, encouraging guest services and staff members that you could imagine. They will be in masks, but just know they're smiling at you. And just, you're going to roll down your windows. They're going to do a real quick beep, beep, temperature check, make sure everyone's under 100.2. And if they are, you'll park and come on in the building. If for some reason someone registered above 100.2, then, and that sometimes that could register wrong. Maybe you had the heat on in the car on the way over, then we'll just pull you off toward the back just for a minute, let you get the windows down, turn the heat off, we'll recheck it. If it's under 100.2, we'll park you and come on in. If it's over 100.2, you'll just be able to exit out the other side of the parking lot, because I know if you've got a fever, you want to know that too. We want to know it, and we want to do that for one another. So as you come in too, you'll notice that our guest services and our volunteers will be wearing masks. That's something we want to do to just make sure we're helping everyone feel safe as they come in, especially those who may be guests or who may be anxious about tiptoeing back into some public gatherings. We are not requiring you to wear a mask. We are recommending that you do, especially in parts of our spaces where you may not be able to social distance, and that could be in our entrances and exits, even in our foyer. And so if there's a space where you feel unable to do that, we're just encouraging you to make sure you got a mask that you could throw on to make yourself feel and be more safe and help others to feel that as well. In those spaces, when in our auditorium, if you're sitting down, if you're able to social distance, then we're not requiring those to be worn. So wanted to let you know that our guest services and volunteers will be in masks. Our people on stage, our band, and our speakers, they will not be wearing masks, just so you know that as well, if that's a concern for you. Want you to know that. We will have some childcare. We will not have our children's environments, and Carrie's going to be releasing a video later this week explaining all that, but the basics look like this. We will have a nursery, and we will have a toddler room, and those volunteers will be sanitized, they'll be masked, the environment will be clean, and even toys will be rotated between services to make sure that for our nursery, our babies, and up to age 2 and our toddlers, we've got a space for that. Now, if you have children over the age of 2 and you're like, I remember our space and I remember the challenges, and I don't know if I want to bring maybe my more active child or children into that space, I just don't know if they're ready for that, then, and you like, man, I wish there was another option. Well, turns out there is. Even though we're not having our Village Kids environment, we are going to use our Village Kids space for a family overflow room. Okay, we'll be live streaming the actual service up into our Village Kids space. And if you've got kids that are a little more active, or they want to move around a little bit and you want them to be able to do that, and you were worried about being in the auditorium, then you can just email us and say, hey, I would love to be in the family room. We've got room for about 20 to 25 people up there. One of our guest services will be hosting that, making sure the live stream is on and ready for you, and that you have a place to be. And in a much more relaxed environment, kids can move around, no worries for you at all with them. So, but either way, we want you to be here if you want to be here in the big room or in that family overflow room. So if the family overflow room is something you're thinking about, shoot us an email, villagechurchnc@gmail.com. Say, hey, I'm interested in that family room. Remember to also get online, register. We are limiting the capacity so that we can space people out in our seating, in our auditorium. Those registrations will be available to you on our website, on our Facebook page, and even connected to this video. Okay, man, that's a lot, and I feel like there's more to tell you, but right now that's what it looks like. And again, I want to tell you how grateful I am to you for always leaning in to this process. I know some of these, none of us like all of the inconveniences that have come with this pandemic, and yet we all have learned how to work and lean into opportunities for things that we really want to be a part of, and if it means caring for one another. And this is who we are. We want to be together because we feel like we're better together. But we also want to create as safe a place as possible. And so we're going to do that through just these minor, what some may call inconveniences, I just call opportunities, if that's what it means for us to be together. I'm happy to do it if it means I get to see you. So this Sunday, services at 9 and 11. Get registered. If you're interested in that family room, shoot us an email. Be watching for a video from Carrie talking about and describing the processes for our Village nursery and toddler room coming up later this week. And know that we cannot wait to be together right here. Right here, we're going to be back at Village, and we can't wait to be better together, create as safe a place as possible, and live love to one another and to any guest, friend, or part of this community who may step in here looking for a way to take one step closer to Jesus. I can't wait to see you. Have a great week, and we will see you back right here on Sunday.